こんにちは皆さん. So, I would like to learn kanji with you in this YouTube channel. But before starting to learn kanji, you need to know a few basic things before starting to actually learn kanji, and that's what we will be learning here today. So, I imagine you already know what the kanjis are just a bit, how the Japanese writing system works with the hiragana, katakana, and kanji. So, I will be basically talking about kanji. So if you are not sure what the kanjis are, you should definitely go check out another video, not this one. So let's go. So in this video, we will be covering how can we use the kanji, not exactly what the kanjis are, but how they work. Then we will see what the radicals are, the kunyomi and unyomi meaning, and what kunyomi and unyomi is, and a few more things. So let's just go. So the kanji are the characters that have a meaning and very different ways of being read. Like, for example, this one here that I put in this photo. So it is very important and essential to know what the kanjis are to be able to read anything. Like, for example, a manga or a book in Japanese. So very important to know kanji. So why the kanjis are also so important is because in Japanese we have many words that sound exactly the same when we say them, but when we write them they are different. So if we see the kanji, we can actually understand what exactly are we saying in terms of meaning. Usually when we speak it's more a context thing, but yeah, kanji will also help us to fully understand the meaning of a word. So how do they work? So every kanji has a meaning. For example, the one that I've put on screen is the kanji of person. So this kanji here means person. We will use them to write the words in Japanese and also the verbs. For example, hanashimasu, that would mean to speak. So the hana part will be written with a kanji, meaning to speak. So this way we can also write the verbs and also the words in Japanese. So every kanji has one reading, two readings, or far more readings. Usually they have two, sometimes they have one, and sometimes it just goes crazy and it has like 5 or 4 or many more readings. That's why we will be also learning kanji here in this channel. So we will learn, for example, a kanji in a video or something like that, so we can actually see them in context, like writing words, not just the kanji there, because if you don't learn them with the words in a practical setting, it can be impossible to actually learn them. And what exactly are the radicals? So this is very important. For example, if you want to use a learning tool, like for example, that I will talk about in another video, the Wanikani webpage, for example, does use radicals. You can also use them as a study method for yourself, or they can appear in a book. I personally don't use them when I study or when I study Japanese. I do use them with Wanikani because Wanikani makes me learn the radicals, but for me they are not very, let's say, useful, but of course it's something that we need to know, and it can be helpful for your memorizing learning process. So for example, let's say you want to learn this kanji, the kanji of star, hoshi. So the radical are the parts in which the kanji is constructed. Sometimes the radical is a kanji too, like at the same time it's a kanji, like for example this one and this one, the examples that I put. Sometimes the radical is just nothing, it's just a part of the kanji. So basically, if you put together the radicals, you construct the kanji. So this can help you, for example, remember the meaning of the kanji, or if you know how to write all the radicals, for sure you know how to write all the kanji in the correct order. Well, not always. For example, it has many parts. You need to know when to start and when to finish, but basically it also helps you to learn how to write in the correct order. So for example, we have star, so the top part of the kanji would be sun, the radical for sun, and the bottom part of the kanji would be life, the radical for life. So for example, if you remember that the star, I don't know, is, the life, or I don't know, the sun, it can help you to remember star. So it is not essentially necessary to know the radicals in order to learn kanji and learn how to memorize kanji. But it is true that a lot of people use the radicals as a memorizing tool, or for example, they organize the kanjis in the radicals that they are using, so it can help you to learn kanji. So that would be basically what the radicals are. So every kanji will have at least one reading. And usually the readings of a kanji, when I say readings, is the different ways which we can read the kanji, will be separated into two groups, let's say. We will have the kunyomi and the onyomi. So the kunyomi will be the so-called Japanese reading. We will usually read the kanji with its onyomi when the kanji is alone. Or, for example, if it's a kanji for a verb, also when it's like doing the verb, it will be also read with the kunyomi. And the onyomi is the reading that comes from Chinese, because I imagine you already know that the kanjis long time ago came from China. So the so-called onyomi is the Chinese writing or reading of the kanji, and we will use it when the kanjis are combined. For example, I have the kanji of I don't know. I'm trying to think of some reading combined that is not irregular. So we have, for example, okay. We have this one here. So we have the East kanji and we have the capital kanji. So because they are put together like that, they're together, we would use the Chinese reading of the two kanjis. So this would be Tokyo. So this is how, like, in a big picture, the kunyomi and onyomi work. It's just the name, the kunyomi and the onyomi. The kunyomi would be the name referring to the Japanese reading, or the reading when the kanji is alone or making a verb, and then the onyomi would be the so-called Chinese reading, and when the kanji is combined. Also, the kunyomi is usually written in hiragana. When you check out on the internet or in a Japanese learning book, and the onyomi will be written in katakana. So let's see an example. For example, let's imagine we want to learn the kanji for time. This one here would be the kanji for time or moment. So the kunyomi of this kanji is toki, and the onyomi of this kanji is ji. So usually, when I see the kanji not together with other kanji, that's what I mean when I say alone between hiragana or another thing, we will read it as toki. For example, 子供の時に野菜を食べませんでした. When I was a kid, I didn't eat vegetables. So toki. And then we have ji. Ji will usually be used or read when it's with another kanji, so that's why I put here the kanji for the number 3. Remember, the numbers in Japanese are also kanji. So this would be sanji desu. It's 3 o'clock. A few things more to keep in mind. A lot of kanji are irregular. So yes, you can have learned the kunyomi, you can already everything, you memorized everything, the kunyomi, the onyomi, how to write it, the meaning, but then you see a word that has this kanji in it, and it's not using the onyomi, it's using, for example, the kunyomi, or it's just using, I don't know, another different way of reading it. For example, the word today would be an example of, let's say, an irregular reading. So that's why it's just learning the readings and the onyomi, kunyomi, and the meaning. It's not enough itself. We do need to know and to see a lot of words as an example. So that's why I will do videos for you to see the kanji in context, to see the kanji with words, so you can learn it more easily and you can see a lot of readings for the same kanji into words and context. So thanks for watching. I hope I gave you a little bit of an insight into the kanji study and you can already start learning kanji. If you are learning hiragana, you are learning the first words in Japanese, you are starting grammar. That's fine if you don't start learning kanji, but I would not make it a long journey. Just when you feel like you know just a bit, you can already start learning kanji because the sooner the better. Okay, so またね。ありがとうございました。